There is a profound truth that society is desperate to keep from you. Most people are living in a state of invisible terror. They fear being different. They fear being cast out. And above all, they fear their own silence. From birth, we are conditioned to blend in. We are told, if you want to go far, go together. But here is the question they never answer. If the people you are traveling with are headed toward a dead end, what is the point of going far? In nature, there is a brutal but fair law. Ordinary birds, like sparrows or ravens, always flock together. They find safety in each other's noise, hiding their weakness behind numbers. But the eagle is different. When a storm hits, while every other bird seeks a hole to hide in, the eagle uses the wind to lift itself above the clouds. At that altitude, there is no chatter, no noise, only absolute solitude and a panoramic view of the world. Today we aren't talking about success by the crowd's definition. We are talking about the mastery of solitude. Why being alone is not a punishment, it is the ultimate privilege of the elite. Why do we fear being alone? Psychologists call it a survival instinct from the prehistoric era. To be cast out of the tribe was death. But in the 21st century, clinging to the tribe is the death of your soul. Every day you are bombarded by the noise of the average, social media, the news, and advice from people who haven't even mastered their own lives. They tell you to be realistic. That is the chirp of a sparrow. They want you to stay grounded because your flight makes them insecure about their own lack of wings. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said, "The worst thing I could be is the same as everybody else." I hate that. Do you feel that fire inside you being extinguished by the mediocrity around you? This is your moment of choice. Remain a safe, nameless part of the herd, or embrace the solitude required to become an eagle. Why does 1% of the population hold the vast majority of the world's wealth and influence? It's not because they have more time than you. It's because they have the stomach for what the other 99% flee from. Solitude at the summit. The crowd gathers at the base of the mountain. It's warm there. It's loud. But the view is blocked by stone walls. As you climb, the air thins, the pressure rises, and the people walking with you begin to fall away. The eagle understands that the top is never crowded. If you are on a path where everyone is cheering and everyone agrees with you, you are likely on the path to mediocrity. Greatness doesn't seek consensus, it seeks truth, and truth is often found where the majority is afraid to tread. Think about Arnold. When he said he wanted to be the greatest bodybuilder, they laughed. When he wanted to conquer Hollywood, they mocked his accent and his unpronounceable name. If Arnold had listened to the sparrows for 1 second, we wouldn't have a legend. The eagle's power lies in selective deafness. The visionaries we admire today, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Nikola Tesla, were all branded as crazy or lonely outcasts. They weren't lonely because they lacked friends. They were lonely because their vision was decades ahead of their time. When you have a massive goal, you will face a crushing pressure. The pressure to explain yourself. You want to explain to your family and friends why you work 16 hours a day, why you skip the parties, why you invest your last dollar into an idea no one else sees. But listen to me, do not waste your breath explaining an eagle's vision to people with a chicken's mindset. You don't need them to understand, you just need them to witness the results. In the wild, the only bird that dares to attack an eagle is the raven. It perches on the eagle's back and pecks at its neck. The eagle could easily turn around and tear the raven apart with its talons, but it doesn't. Why? Because it knows the value of its energy. Instead of fighting, the eagle simply opens its wings and climbs higher. The higher it goes, the thinner the air becomes. The raven, with its weak lungs, cannot survive the altitude and eventually falls away. In your life, ravens are the critics, the backstabbers, and the people who try to drag you into petty arguments. When you start to succeed, they will appear. Do not waste your breath defending yourself. Do not waste your power on revenge. True victory isn't about defeating them. It's about ascending to a height where they no longer have the capacity to exist in your world. Your success is the loudest, quietest revenge. The eagle is the only bird that loves the storm. While others tremble in fear, the eagle stands on a high ledge and waits. When the storm hits, it uses the violent updrafts to lift itself. It doesn't flap against the storm. It locks its wings and lets the chaos propel it above the clouds. This is the difference between a victim's mindset and an eagle's mindset. To the crowd, hardship is a barrier. To the eagle, hardship is a lever. When you face failure, when you lose your funding, or when your career is on the brink of collapse, remember this: do not hide from the storm. Dive into the heart of it. The most intense pressures forge a character that no school can teach. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and legends are formed in the storms of life. There is a legendary tale of the eagle's rebirth, a lesson in survival that every man and woman seeking the peak must memorize. At age 40, the eagle's body is no longer a perfect hunting machine. Its talons lose their grip. Its beak becomes blunt and curved. Its wings grow heavy with thick, aged feathers, making flight an exhausting struggle. The eagle is left with two choices: accept death or undergo a painful 150-day process of rebirth. It must fly to a secluded mountain peak. There, it knocks its beak against a rock until it falls off. It waits for a new, sharper beak to grow. Then, it uses that new beak to pull out its own old talons. And finally, it plucks out its own heavy feathers. This isn't just physical pain. It is purposeful self-destruction. Are you brave enough to smash your own beak? To shatter the old beliefs and habits that once served you, but are now your greatest burdens? Solitude is the laboratory of the soul. Most people fail not because they aren't talented, but because they are carrying too much luggage from the past. You want a new vision, but you hold on to old prejudices. You want high-quality relationships, but you refuse to leave the sparrows who hold you back. The eagle's rebirth teaches us, greatness is not the addition of new things. It is the subtraction of the old. 5 months of agony for 30 more years of dominance. If you aren't willing to pluck out the feathers of laziness and cowardice, you will spend the rest of your life walking on the ground, looking up at those who dared to bleed for their wings. Once you are reborn, you realize the curse of greatness. You can never go back to the crowd. You have seen the light from the peak. You cannot pretend to enjoy the darkness of the valley. Solitude is no longer something you endure. It is something you choose. As you rise above the storm, you realize the ultimate truth. Your greatest enemy was never the crowd out there. It wasn't the raven pecking at your neck, and it wasn't the people mocking your dreams. The only enemy you ever had to conquer was the version of yourself from yesterday. The one who feared being alone. The one who craved validation from people who don't even matter. The eagle's sky has no room for compromise. At this altitude, the boundaries of fear disappear. You see opportunity where others see risk. You see stillness where others see loneliness. You no longer search for happiness from the outside because you have become your own light. This is the state of a legend, peerless, because you have stopped comparing yourself to anyone else. Do not apologize for your greatness. Do not feel guilty because you have outgrown your old friends. The world is not changed by those who blend in. It is changed by those who are brave enough to stand apart. Every beat of your wings creates a draft of inspiration for other young eagles who are still afraid. Your legacy is not what you say. It is how you dared to fly when everyone told you to crawl. You have listened long enough. You have watched long enough. Now, it is time to act. Look at your wings. Are they heavy with burdens that don't belong to you? Pluck them out. Is your beak blunt from explaining yourself to the weak? Smash it on the rock of discipline. The sky has no limits, only the limits of your own vision. Do not wait for consensus. Do not wait for a partner. Take flight now, in this sacred solitude, because somewhere at the summit, other eagles are waiting for you. Do you choose to be the king of the sky, or a slave to the crowd? The answer is in your next step. If this message reached the eagle within you, leave an eagle in the comments as a vow to yourself. Subscribe and turn on notifications for your daily fuel. Remember, sparrows have the crowd, but the sky belongs to the eagle. Fly high. See you at the top.